All right, good morning. Welcome to the weekly meeting, 12/9/2023. So here we are finding ourselves at the end of another year. Maybe we all need to reflect a little bit um, and ask ourselves, did we uh, achieve what we set out to achieve? Did we even set any goals? Um, did we set any goals? That's a real question, because we might find out that most of us really didn't set any goals. We might have thought that we wanted to do a thing or two, or we might have, whispered to ourselves. Did you write any goals down? Anything that you can look at right now that you wrote down uh, that you wanted to accomplish in 2023? Did you accomplish any of those goals? Are you still working on those goals? Are they written down? What did you do last week to make sure that those goals are being accomplished? What did you do the week before? What are you going to do next week? What are you working on this week? Those are some of the great questions. Um, every now and then, I think that we all need to remind ourselves why it is that we decided to embark on this journey, right? We all know that there's money involved. But are we foolish enough to think that that our dumb selves, our uneducated selves, can come get this money, right? Are we that foolish? Do we think we can drive Lambos and live in big houses? And if you do, or if you are foolish enough to think that, what are you willing to do to become the person that you need to be to consistently make withdrawals, right? What work are you putting in? What changes are you willing to make? What kind of self-denial are you willing to go through? Like, you have to deny yourself in order to uh, achieve some of things that you're trying to achieve. Along those lines, you know, I always play this video, my favorite Oliver Velez rant, but I think it's a it's a good time to revisit these very things, like to refocus, to retool. In 3 weeks, we'll start in January 1st in a fresh year, trying to accomplish the same things that we tried to accomplish this year. And the question is, are you going to be ready to accomplish those things that you're set to accomplish? Are those things written down? Um, are those things really important? Or are you just doing it and saying it because you found a community that you can hang out in, right? And there's nothing wrong with hanging out here, but other people are trying to progress. And those are the people that this video is going to speak directly to.
Time I grab a mic, every time I've been offered the ability to speak from a stage or a podium or speak into a mic, whether it's from my desk or whether it's for an organization or whether it's for a trading group, for the last 26 years, being a devoted evangelist for this industry, I have never skipped an opportunity to put the cons in your face, because I think the cons, understanding them, is actually more important than recognizing and understanding the pros. Let's get to the cons. Con number one is the most important con of all. The odds are against you. Traders, listen to me carefully. The odds are against you. Traders, listen to me carefully. The odds are against you. One more time. Listen to me carefully. You will never be able to fault me for failing to tell you this, for failing to put it in your face, for failing to shout it as loud as I possibly can. The odds are against you. Why? Because there's a 92% failure rate in the short-term oriented trading space. That's right. 92% of every one of you listening here will fail. 92% won't make it, no matter what you do, no matter how hard you work at it, no matter what your intentions are. 92% failure rate, and not me, not any firm in the United States, not any firm internationally, not any expert, not any mentor, not any trader, not any trainer, not any mentor can change this statistical fact. It is etched in stone. 92% failure rate. Now breathe that in, traders. I need you to understand this. I need you to understand what you're up against, because you ultimately, at the end of the day, are going to have to answer this question. This one very, very important question, traders. You're going to have to answer this. Do you understand? You're going to have to answer this. Do I have what it takes to be the 8%? Guys, this is a simple game, but it's not easy. There is a huge difference between simplicity and easy. It's simple. Markets go up, markets go down, sometimes they go sideways. 3 possibilities: up, down, sideways, up, down, sideways. That's a simple rudimentary mechanism. But I am the last person on planet Earth that will tell you that this activity called day trading in particular is easy. It's not easy. In fact, it's one of the most challenging activities you as a human being will ever pick up. Do you know why? Because in order for there to even be a hope for mastering the market, you have to first master yourself. And let's face it, how many people actually master themselves in this world? How many people actually reach a point where they do what they say they're going to do? How many people really keep their promises to their kids, their wives, their husbands, their community at large, their societies, their personal God? Very few people reach the point in their life in anything where they have accumulated or accomplished self-mastery. But the only way to have any chance at success at this is to first master yourself. You can't take an unmastered you into the market and think that there's going to be success in the market. You can't take an undisciplined you and go find success. You can't take an untrained you and go into the market with your untrained self and think that you and your untrained state is going to pull money out of the markets. Won't happen. You can't be an ill-informed individual and take your ill-informed self into the market and pull money out of the markets. You can't take your unmastered self. You can't take your undisciplined self. You can't take your untrained self. You can't take your uneducated self. You can't take your uninformed self. You can't take who you are right now without changing yourself first. You can't take who you are right now and take who you are right now in the market and expect the market to give you money. So what must happen? You must first change. You must first go through a metamorphosis. You must first become educated. You must first become discipline. Discipline is not something you're born with. It's something you work on, like your muscles. You got to hit this thing up every couple of days, every day of the week, if you will, to build that muscle, to build that capability. You have to work on becoming disciplined. You have to work on becoming educated. You have to work on becoming experienced. This work happens first. And it is this work that transforms who you are. Then you take the transformed you into the market, and it is that transformed you that starts producing progress. But if you think that you can stay who you are without putting work into creating the change you need in yourself, you think there's just, I take this 2-day course and I go into the market, 2 days, it's not enough to change who you are. Take this 2-day course, go into the market, open up an account, and I should become rich in the next few weeks, then you should really find another freaking planet to work on, because you are living somewhere in outer space, not here on planet Earth. I don't know about any other planets, but that doesn't work here, not on planet Earth. I have yet to do intergalactic travel. I'm waiting for Elon Musk or somebody to make that possible. But until then, I only know what the situation here is on planet Earth. This industry has a 92% failure rate, largely because people don't want to go through what it takes to become someone different first. They want to stay who they are and take who they are into the market and take money out of the market. It will never happen. My mother used to say, Oliver, never say never. Oh, never say never, Oliver. Well, I'm telling you, Mom, sorry, never. Let me say it again. Never. I know I'm silly, but it's a point worth it. I'm telling you, it's a point worth belaboring. All right? 92%.
Okay, so basically you get the gist of it, right? There are some work that we have to do that does not involve any chart. The work does not involve any indicator. It does not involve any mentor, right? It involves us, our self-discipline. If you don't have it, you can't make money, right? This applies to everything, not just trading. You know, I was in the Army for 20 years. I can't go get high and go to work. I guess I could. They're going to kick me out. So I had to not partake of those fruits, right? If you like to drink, you can't get drunk and go to work. Well, you can, but you'll get fired. You won't make money. The market is the same thing. You can put your money in the market. But the thing about the market is you're trading against other individuals or other companies, real people, real professionals. And those professionals are disciplined. So when you're not, they gladly take your money. So this is very simple. If you're not willing to put in the work, do not be willing to put in your money because you're not going to win, you're going to lose. Okay. With that being said, we don't have to beat a dead horse. Anybody have any questions over that?
Well, I mean, he's cool, but I don't like the way he's talking to me right now.
Hey, we used to not like the way Mama talked to us either. We ain't gotta like it.
Like,
You just gotta learn from it. It is what it is. So I know everybody made money last week. Congratulations on that big bag of dough that you ran away from, you stole from the market. If you didn't make money, do you know why you didn't make money? That's the important thing, because we don't want you to go in the market this next week and duplicate whatever you did to be unsuccessful last week. Okay, there is a proven model out there. I think we've all kind of been trading it. We've been trading it successfully for a while, and I'll just give it to the people who don't quite understand it. We'll look at it again. We'll look at it right here. The market comes up, right? For all intents and purposes, this is likely the high. That does not really matter. The market comes up, gives you a high, gives you a higher low, it gives you a lower high, a higher low still, gives you another lower high. Then we break the low, right? So the anticipation here is for a trade to come back up into this imbalance that you can take further south, right? Wherever you're taking this trade, maybe you're taking it to this low, maybe you're on a higher time frame that shows you can take it to a lower low. All you're doing is waiting, right? This is where your discipline comes in. It doesn't mean you're trying to catch every pip. It doesn't mean that you have to have the best entry. It doesn't mean any of that. This could be a 3.4% trade if you're just waiting for what you're supposed to be waiting for. You don't have to drop down to the 5-minute. You don't have to do any of that if you don't want to. Now, it's nothing against you doing that, but this is just the basic concept of what we're waiting on. We have a candle that has an imbalance. This trade should come back up and tap into this order block. That's what I'm expecting as a trader. This is probably what you should be expecting. And if you do it just like this, that's a 72 pip stop loss. We're looking for 249 pips. You hit the play button, it's either going to play out or it's not. And in this case, you got paid. That's easily, I mean, that's in a nutshell all you're looking for, right? Whether you trade,
did that do exactly what gold did?
Man,
I think gold had the exact same pattern. It gave us the high, lower high, fell off the cliff.
They all every pair does the same thing. And this is the point. Whether you think you can make money with a 72 pip stop loss or you need a 10 pip stop loss, none of that matters. This works on the 6-hour chart. Most of y'all don't even trade a 6-hour chart. Most of you didn't even know it existed probably until somebody else pulled it up. You can do this on the 5-minute, the 1-minute, the 15-minute, the 2-week chart. You can do this on a monthly chart. This is all the same stuff. It just depends on whether or not you are patient enough to wait for your setup, right? It didn't say when you get this break because there's 3 more candles to get in down here. Why? Price needs to come back to your area, right? So for the people who know and understand what you're looking for, this trade setup is easy, right? Now, some of y'all would have waited to try to get in the trade right here, which is cool. You know, hey, you can wait, but the setup is this imbalance that broke this structure is going to give you an entry. So you can be greedy and wait. You could fib this candle right here, because this is what we do on the weekly chart. We just fib the candle. It gives us the order block. We highlight the golden zone to the 78. A horizontal array. Let me take the fib off the chart. Trade pulls right up into your golden zone, gets out of there. So your entry could have been, some of y'all could have said, well, I'll just protect here, right? If you would have only taken a 61 to 78 trade, because you want the 20 pip stop loss, you missed a golden opportunity. Easy come, easy go. You know, I mean, some of y'all would have made it, some of you would have missed it. If you trade at the 50 and you're protecting just over the 78, you got a 30 pip stop loss. This is an 8% trade. If you take it to the bottom, it's a 10% trade. The point is, if you're consistent in your setup, if this is the only setup that you're going to take, you're not going to lose very many trades. Let me repeat that. If this setup is the only setup that you're going to take, you're not going to lose very many trades. You don't have to trade 8, 9 trades in a week. You could take this one trade. One trade, you could have made 8%. You could take 1 or 2 trades a week. You can take 1 or 2 trades a month if you trade the higher time frames. And another thing, AUDJPY, this trade sets up. This order block was created. This is the Asian session candle, 1700 candle, right? Trade pushes back into your area, 1700 the next day. So your entry is right on London session. At the end of Asian session, London session, the bottom falls out. Asian session setup, Asian pair, London session entry, money.
Now, you saying that it did exactly what you said it was going to do again. And when it happened, when you got your entry, you said something in the group. Everybody saw it. That's what's happening, right? It's coming to an end, folks. You got to be careful right now. I mean, I don't want to put pressure on you, but If they take away your ability to get some help, then you're going to have to use your capital. These brokers are dying. MetaTrader's kicking them off the system. That's what's happening. So everything that we're leading you to do is going to get way more difficult, right? If you can't use that broker, you got to go to the registered, and that's not going to be fun for you. So you have an opportunity to squeeze something out of this dead machine. You got to do it. We're giving you the signals. We are the signal, right? The people that get this entry correct have marked their chart. The people that don't mark the chart, when we say something in the group, when it hit that level, we don't say, oh, this is the thing we talked about in the meeting. No, we're just saying we're going in. Right? You should have marked your chart up, and you should be knowing exactly what we're talking about every time. Everybody can catch everything because we talk about everything and we do what we say we're going to do. It's accountability.
And listen, if you don't know how to do this, that's cool too. Take notes, write it down. Stop showing up unprepared. Write this down. It's not secret sauce. It's not anything special. This does not require any degree from any institution. It requires you to understand structure, right? I understand where my swing highs and swing lows are. I understand the market is changing because we went from getting higher highs and higher lows to equal highs, lower lows, lower highs, and then we broke. When we break that structure, that's a change of character, a chop. You mark it. You find the candle with the imbalance, right? This expansion candle expands the market in a downward direction. Trade right back up into it. Money. Okay. Now we have people who are nice enough, to go and do your work for you. You don't have to do anything. You can wait until Ish posts the order blocks for the week. She's nice enough to go and post it. All you're doing is eating dinner on a Friday night, and you get a notification that Ish has posted all the order blocks going into next week. Those order blocks, that's the same exact setup. The only difference is it's on a higher time frame, right? It's on the weekly time frame. So when she posts her order blocks of the week, and I believe EU was one of them. No, EJ. Was EJ one of them? Yeah, EJ was one of them. All those JPYs, EJ and GJ. So let's look at GJ, and then I'll stop sharing my screen, and somebody else can share their screen. That's definitely not one. Okay, those are God's plan. Let me just look, man.
That looks fire.
All right, so each post AUD CAD, GU. Do y'all have a preference?
Well, stay right there. Right quick before you go. How a fractal works, right?
Mm-hmm.
We know that it could do a fractal, and what I mean by that is that's how a breaker block is set up. If we see the previous structure to the left, we see how it dipped down before it went up. That is the start of a breaker block, right? Now, you see how the green and the red candles that swept the lower level liquidity, if you flip that upside down, it gives you the peak of the top. If that makes sense, that little stab to the bottom with the red and green candle before it elevated out of it, before it hit resistance. If I took all those candles and I flipped them and put them on the top side, it gives me a mirror image at the top. So before that happened, I could have flipped that and got the measurement, and it would have set me up exactly for resistance. Now, this is the same opportunity we can get right now, because whenever a high or a low is broken, then it pulls back, right? And it could pull back and sweep resistance. If I flip those 3 red candles upside down, it will flip up to the top and give me the ideal position that if it goes to sweep with liquidity, I know exactly where it's going to sweep to. So that, and it gave me a pattern before of how that looked. Now I'm going to hope that that breaker block is legit, because everything after it says it's legit, right? So now I can trust that it may not sweep the upper level liquidity. It will respect the breaker block, and it'll give us a perfect 78% retracement and not sweep resistance. That gives you more confidence as this pulls back. It's like, what if it keeps going? Well, it's a breaker block. You want to see the respect on that breaker block, because everything after it is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. All you need now is a deep retracement, and you go into the bank. Tight stops. And if the breaker block's respected, that means that low is getting broken. And then you're going to get another 78, because the change of character has started. That means you can catch every pullback after that low gets broken.
Y'all have any questions on that? And for
Several.
what's that?
Several.
You say you have several?
Yeah. So the first part is the whole mirror. Like, what do you mean by that?
Okay. So you no, don't listen. Here's what you do, folks. You hit 2W right here. Remember yesterday, I was on with you yesterday.
Yes.
What I told you was find you a time frame that shows you a picture that you can work with, correct?
Yes.
So if I hit 2W, can you work with this order block?
Yeah.
And that's what you do. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
What he is talking about is more advanced than what you can understand. So if what you do is you make the charts are our tools. It's a book that we're reading. If I don't understand the language in that book, I need to get me an easier read. So I'm just going to change the picture into something that I can digest. Right?
And
that's
when I give the explanation, it's for confirmation that maybe this pattern is strong and you can trust your entry, is really what I'm saying.
Okay.
But if it goes south, we have to have people available for what to do if it goes south. So now I'm giving you further confluence that if it does flip, we have an idea of where it's going to flip to if it does, right? Because if it breaks resistance, now we're looking for buys, right? So if it does that sweep and stays there, then it got to come back and give you a retracement, and now we're going bullish. We know how to flip the script at any time, because we know that the swing low or the swing high has to be broken. It will tell us what it wants to do. Now we know this is a higher time frame, so chances of it sweeping the upper level liquidity is pretty unlikely. So that's the package of what I'm saying. You don't have to do what I'm saying, but trust the narration, right?
Okay. Thank you.
and while we're here, I'm going to move this over because I just want to reiterate what I said a minute ago, looking at a 6-hour chart, right? This is a 2-week chart. We have an expansion, right? This move up is an expansion. On this expansion, we break this high. This was a swing high. We break this high. Now we're pulling back. Where are we pulling back to? The imbalance that was created during the expansion, right? We can fib this. A fib is a good tool that measures retracement. There's our zone. There's our 78. Wow, our target is right there in between our golden zone and the 78. It's a great chance that that's exactly where price is going. And just for the people in the back, if we close this imbalance, that's 1,300 pips, 1365. Now, the only problem that exists here is you don't know the time frame. You're not getting 1,300 pips next week. It's not happening like that. But you're not required to expect 1,300 pips in a week. All you want to know as a trader is give me the direction, right? You could get in this trade right now and just hold the trade until it goes down, or you can trade in and out. You can trade back and forth using the smaller time frame, because you're going to have bearish order blocks, and then you're going to have bullish order blocks whenever it's going back and forth. Does everybody understand that?
Yep. Yes.
All right, let me go back to the order blocks for this week. Y'all want to see GU, AUD CAD,
GU.
EUR CAD. You said GU? Let's do GU. Let's do GU. All right, I'm gonna start with this weekly joint, right? GU is nice and pretty. Price is pushing up, right? We moved away from the moving average. We can probably expect it to come back and touch at the very least. But if we started off, let me just trash everything. So we just start the analysis off with this bearish order block, right? The first thing we want to do is what?
Fib the weekly order block.
The golden zone.
All right, I'm fibbing this order block. I'm fibbing the direction that the market traveled. The market traveled down last week. So now I got the fib. I want to mark what? What am I marking?
Golden zone in the 78.
GZ in the 78. All right. Now I can get rid of my fib. What's next?
4 hour.
4-hour chart. What am I looking for? Somebody else?
Our imbalance in our golden zone.
Ain't none.
Drop down to the hour or the 15.
Drop down to the hour. Ain't none.
Go to the 15.
No, go up.
Probably going higher.
Oh, we're going higher? Okay.
Well, yeah, this is the zone, but we also marked the 78. We think price is going to come in between this area. From the discounted rate starts right here. Doesn't mean that they can't give us a deeper discount. And here, there is an imbalance. If I mark the top wick of this red candle, it should connect with the top, the bottom wick of this red candle should connect with the top wick of this red candle. And we see that there is a disconnect. There's not a connect. So this disconnect creates an imbalance. I like to mark my imbalance with a box. Y'all can mark y'all's with a raise or whatever if it helps you see that there's a disconnect. However you got to mark it, just make sure you're understanding what you're looking for. So it's safe for me to assume that price is going to travel to this imbalance, right? Now I can take a trade up to this imbalance. Is that correct?
Yes.
Sure.
So this trade is roughly 110 pips. Let's just say we get 100 of those pips. When should I expect this move?
For Tuesday.
Time is important. Time is important. This move is going to be the first move of the week. Remember, the weekly chart says that price is going down. This is just the pullback before price starts pushing down. So that first move will be a buy move to fill the imbalance before price turns and burns. What are we turning and burning to?
Equal load.
Equal lows, imbalance, right? This is probably a good draw on price, right? There's a way to make this measurement precise, right? If you're doing your analysis every week and you're doing your analysis every month, let's just go to the monthly chart. If you did an analysis last month and you saw this bullish order block, you would have fibbed this bullish order block. You would have marked up your zones on this bullish order block. You would have marked the 78, you would have marked the 50%, you would have deleted your fib. Then when you go down to the 4, and this is turning and burning, now you see that it's burning right to your monthly zone and 78. So this analysis is just confirmation of what you already knew at the end of the month. You knew price was coming down here, right? And what's more important is look at the date that you got your high for the month. Tuesday, 28 November. The market pushes up. The market pushes down to give you your breaker block, pushes back up to give you equal highs. Now, this is the 3rd of December. You start getting your push down. You've already expected that. You were just waiting for your push down. Everybody tracking.
Beautiful.
Now you get your chart.
Beautiful.
You expect the market to trade back up into the imbalance, and we off to the races. This is not complicated. We don't need to overcomplicate it. If you write down those steps, you're going to have the right information. Whether you're disciplined enough to wait for your trade, that's another story. These steps are the same steps. They've not changed. It's not rocket science. This is very simple stuff. And again, to say the same thing that Oliver Velez just said, it's simple, but it's not easy. It's not easy because you're not disciplined, but it is very simple. Who has questions?
The top is going to be in eventually. If that's the top, you're talking about a 6-month profit or even a year. That's crazy. This is what we used to look at and be like, oh, what if I would have caught that? Yeah, that's this.
So we can expect maybe to see a change every 6 months, right? We can look at the 6-month candles. Right now, the dollar is bullish. We knew what the dollar was going to be bullish. We saw it coming. We saw the dollar turning bullish. Shoulder, head, shoulder. If y'all are chart pattern people, I'm not. Where is it going? Imbalance, right? If it keeps going, where is it going after that? Imbalance. This stuff, we don't have to guess, like the higher time frames will let us know. We'll either break these highs and it keeps going up, or it will reject. Once we break this imbalance, are we going to break this high? This is the 78. Are we going to break this high? We don't have to make any decisions on the dollar. We know that this dollar is going up. If the dollar is going up, everything else is going down. AU, GU, EU is dropping. This is going to go up. If we break this high, we expect the pullback, and then AU and them would change directions. And as this goes higher, they go lower. It's not rocket science. This is just the way it works. So for everybody who's wondering, it's really a debate we don't have to have. If I fib,
Hey,
this move from bottom to the top. The dollar has broke all these highs, a historic meteor run up. Nothing goes up forever. The dollar pulls back right to your 62, right in your golden zone. So if we push up and break these highs, nobody should be surprised. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to do, right? When the dollar started breaking down, nobody should have been like, oh man, the dollar's losing. Fool, we just broke all these highs. It has to pull back. Where is it pulling back?
That's what's up. That's what's up.
So this stuff, it matters. Like this is not something we're making up. This is not something that me or you as traders, we don't have to argue with people out in society that don't know how to read a chart. We can read a chart. When this started breaking down and they were talking about the death of the dollar, you like, yes, it's the death of the dollar to the golden zone. And I'm trading that. I'm trading that death. I'm making money off the death of the dollar.
Get
So
'em.
this is just how it works. This is not something that we just making up. And everybody sees it. So if you're not onto this stuff, this is just how we're gonna see things, right? So Baba, you said it's gold going low. Gold is definitely going lower. And listen, it's not the end of the world for gold.
It's just the correlation I was asking about.
Yeah.
I mean,
1750.
you see
Back to the
head
scene of the
shoulders right there?
crime.
1725. Let's go.
1725. Let's go.
Wait, y'all, but y'all look, you get the head and shoulders. Everybody understands what the deal is. When we broke this low, we traded back up into the imbalance. If you're trying to be greedy, you would have missed the trade, but the trade pushed down eventually. We broke another low, right? We broke this swing low, trade back up into the imbalance, take the trade to go further south. If you fib the move, gold needs to pull back. I can't even get the high as wick, man. Gold going crazy.
If gold goes to 2080,
Here,
just off a happenstance, you
well,
gotta catch that.
here you go. Here's your zone. We're already in the zone. Here's your 78. It probably won't be here long. Gold will probably bone out. Now, here's the deal with gold and the dollar. Generally speaking, they're going to be opposite of each other. But we all know that more people or more countries, more institutions are buying gold. So gold is not necessarily always going to be opposite of the dollar. They can both rise at the same time. It just lets you know that there are some fundamental things going on that we should all perk our ears up about. We already know we got war in Israel. We got Russian war. We have things that are playing out in a fundamental basis that support the reasons why these things can flip, right? What else did we see? We just got finished talking. What did we see last week with the JPYs? All of a sudden, the Japanese dollar got stronger. It didn't get a little stronger. Like this stuff waterfalled off. I think I read that the JPYs went 700 pips each. Is Ish on the call?
She should be.
I mean, she might have had stuff going on, but I
Hey,
think,
but hey, check this out, man. Hey, open that up a little bit, because I want to show people what inducement and how crazy inducement. Like, not, well, yeah, like that. Now you see in the middle when it hit the bottom.
you mean right here?
Or in the middle to the left.
Right
in
here?
the middle, yeah. No, where it hit the bottom and then went back to resistance for the double top. In the middle. The middle of the double top.
Oh, you mean right here?
When I can't see your cursor. Yeah, to the right though. Yeah. In the middle, down, in the middle. That in the middle, down at the bottom.
Okay.
Right there. Now you see how it flattened out? That's inducement. That's buyer's inducement. Now, when it came back down and did it again at the bottom, people thought it was going to go back to the top. But that's a double buyer's inducement right there. When the candles start going sideways, it's supposed to break support and sweep that and then go. It didn't do that. It just stayed flat. right? And then when it went up for the double top and came down to that low again, everybody thought it was going to go break resistance because it was going to head up for the third time, and it fell right off the cliff. See, that's what a buyer's inducement is supposed to do, that last part right there. So whenever you see that, all you have to do is let it flip over and fall off the cliff, right? So when I saw that, I was like, that's amazing, because you need to, when you see these things, you see when the market came up from the corner and then it went sideways. When it comes up from the corner and the flatness is across the top, it'll break the top. But when the flatness is on the bottom, it'll break the bottom. It's buyer's inducement, seller's inducement. And once again, there's swings. So you're either going to get it at the top or you're going to get it at the bottom. That's the swing point. When people get down to the bottom, they want to buy, right? That's the buyer's inducement. It'll just flip over and just drop like a rock in the ocean. It is a beautiful thing because we're teaching swing areas, what happens in the swing area. We want to buy down at the bottom of the swing or get confirmation that it is a buy. That's what makes it safe, because if it doesn't confirm it's a buy off of that swing low, because it has to go, once it gets to the swing low, it has to go up and create chalk, come back and tap you in. But when it's inducement, where people fail is that we're taught to buy low, right? But it has, once it hits the low, which is why you have to only do it at the swing, because it's make or break, right? When you're at the swing, it's time to make decisions. Are you at the bottom swing or are you at the top swing? If you're at the bottom swing, obviously you're looking for a buy, but is it buyer's inducement? Because we had that middle leg over there that told us that last time it really was supposed to fall off that time and they got faked out. Now you get a second opportunity. And if it is inducement by getting 3 to 4 candles butted up sideways, it'll fall through the floor. And you can catch the entry with a tight stop right at the swing. I know it's technical, but some people are ready for that explanation now. Watch for it. It's fire. And I think that was the day we were looking at that breaker block, because gold had a breaker block and all the JPYs had a breaker block. Gold went out of the breaker block to the upside and every other JPY fell through the bottom of the breaker block. We saw that when it happened.
So just looking at this chart, and based off what we've been talking about, everybody should be seeing the same thing, right? You broke this low, you broke this low, you broke this low, right? All those lows were broken, all that imbalance. 330 or 340 pips back up to the top, right? If you understand what a breaker block is, or the way ICT preaches it, price should come back up to this level. And that's 341 pips. It's going to pull back first, then give you a 341 pip move. That's an easy trade, man. Like it's a trade that we should understand based off of what happened. Nobody should have to point this kind of stuff out. Like this is a give me 341 pips, right? Every week, if we're doing the right thing, if we're analyzing the pairs, we're not shocked by the moves of the market, right? And if you miss something, if you analyze GJ and that's your trade for the week, you can't get mad that you didn't catch GN, and that was what I was saying about me last week. Last week I made a decision, hey, I'll trade GU and EU, and I missed the JPYs, and then I FOMO'd and hopped in, the NJ trade. And it doesn't matter how long you trade, you're going to have bad habits, and you just have to keep working just like Oliver Velez said, you can't quit. I go back to these chicken breasts and this broccoli, because when you make bad decisions, even if the bad decisions pay off, it's still a bad decision. You got to call it out, call it what it is. It's a bad decision. Even though you get paid for the bad decisions, you can't make the same mistakes and expect to get away with it. This is a professional market. Like these people are making real money, and they're going to take our money. Once you get in your trade, once you do your analysis and you set your alerts and you get in your trade, the only thing that should take you out your trade is your take profit or your stop loss. The charts are these are the best horror movies you can watch. On every time frame is going to give you reason to believe that the trade is going against you. Once you do your analysis, let it play out. And one thing that I've learned is if you're protecting swing highs and swing lows, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna win that trade. Now, you might not have the best percentage. Why? Because most of us aren't skilled enough to get in right here. We have to wait for price to come way up here. If you're skilled enough to get in right here, then that should be your edge. It's the very reason that I trade the end of the month candle, because it has a set time. There's a time associated with that end of the month candle, right? So all I do is sit like that kid in the candy store, like that pedophile waiting on his prey. It's the same sort of mentality. And you know where somebody's going to be at a certain time. You're stalking that person. In this case, I'm stalking the trade. I know at the end of the month, if this candle has pushed 400 pips down, that next candle, even if it's going to go down, it has to push up first. So I'll catch those 200 pips. Thank you very much. And if I'm on my P's and Q's and I get my good entry, 200 pips, I can flip my account twice. So if you have a edge, trade that edge, right? If your superpower is, hey man, there's an impulse move, there's a imbalance, I can trade it back to the imbalance. That's cool. Some of y'all won't be able to trade it back to the imbalance. Some of you say, hey man, there's an impulse move, there's an imbalance. I have to wait till price comes back. I'll set my alert at the imbalance. That's cool too. Whatever your edge is, trade your edge and stick to your guns. Set your alerts and don't FOMO into trades. Your win rate will increase. The amount of trades you take will decrease. And that's when you know that you have mastered, what trading really is. Trading is more waiting than it is taking action. That's just the truth. Anybody have any questions? Awesome. So who wants to share their chart and break it down? Listen, my charts are going to be marked up for the trades that I'm going to take. And what I'm trying to do here is give everybody the opportunity to break down and mark up their own charts. So you don't worry about when I'm getting a trade or when your partner is getting in a trade. You have your own chart marked up and you can take your trade when your alert goes off. Anybody?
And while they're figuring it out, I just want to say that I know I sound like I'm on another planet. Just let that be, because some people are ready to hear that stuff. I'm gonna try not to take up too much time with it, but I'll go into these little explanations. It's not to prove that I'm right or anything like that. It's just giving people more confluence and confidence about whatever direction, because I'm going to talk about both. So if you notice that, okay, I'm gonna listen to him when he's talking about my part. I like it. I like that part, right? Because I'm gonna talk about the whole thing, right, as fast as I can to just get through it. that's what I've trained myself to be able to drop that at any time with anyone. So it's never in any type of offense or anything like that. I just want people to see more than probably what they see. And it should help, because whatever bias you're taking, I'll walk through and show you how to walk through and talk about both sides of the picture. Right? Only to get people better, right? You can take one technique and do a lot of things, but you'll see that you have more time in a day. And if this is what you're trying to do, you need to take advantage of all situations. You're being taught to catch the pullback on the retracement in both directions. Now you take your swing at the bottom, you take your swing at the top, and you do what you got to do at the bottom, do what you got to do at the top. If you cut that in half and you're taking away a whole half of profit that you should have, and that's what you will blossom into, to see that, why am I waiting to go do that? I could be making money. Right now you're utilizing all your time, right? So it's going to happen. You're going to see it to the point where you're making so much that you look at it, you're like, well, I could have made double that because I could do this on the other end. Right. That's the point. And your day will come for that. So do the little things first, and everything is a compound. And you'll fall right into it, because you're basing it on facts. You following what it says. It's telling you the truth. You have to do what it says. People don't like to be told what to do, and it reflects in their trading.
Anybody have any questions? Everybody trades? Everybody charts? Y'all good? Y'all good with y'all's charts? Y'all good with your trading? Quick and painless.
And the thing about presenting is, you know, me, Todd, a lot of us have been doing this for about 7, 8 years now. Exactly what you see here, perfected now. We're at our tip top, right? But other people got to take over so that we can just be in the background. It's because when you do it, you get better, because now you're being accountable for what you're showing, right? And a lot of people, you know, it's natural. They throw rocks, right, about how people do whatever they do. And then they can't get up there because they don't want that to happen to them. You have to take your lumps, right? We all do it, right? I've been on the battlefield. Like, none of this is as important as the fact that I could have died out there, but I'm here for a reason, right? And I take that very seriously. So I'm serious about everything I do. I'm joking and banter and, you know, stuff like that, but you got to get up there. This is your time. You can't wait. We can't go through next year and expect what happened this year. It's going to be worse. So you have to get it now, right? Because if it happens the way, if all the brokers get their heads cut off and you have to go to a registered broker, you're not going to make this kind of money because you're not going to have as much control. You may be able to do something, but you need to know how to do it. That's the point. Forget about where you use it. If you don't have it yet, it's about to get tight. And there's no jobs. You got to figure it out. And it starts by speaking it, because once you start speaking it, your peers are going to correct you. And then as they correct you, you move to the next step. And then we're not going to let you skip steps, because we know it's detrimental. Can't skip steps. Right from the beginner's course, and then maybe some theory. You're just around us when we're having these conversations. You don't have to do anything that we're saying. But you can trust that we are probably, if you just keep it IC forex clearly, the best in the world. Right? We're very comparable to anything you see on YouTube. We have it dialed in, right? So accept the critique. We're going to judge your level, and then we'll collectively talk about, okay, this person's ready for this. Because we have to do that. We are pulling it out of the mud. We're building this from grassroots. And this is how we're supposed to be developing our traders. right? So that's what we got to do. I stand on that. I'm on it at all times. I want to see what people know. What are they saying? What would, okay, we'll help them with this. Okay, they're not saying the price. A lot of people don't know the price. They don't know to say the price. And I bring up the analogy that if ICT came here and he asked you the price and you said $6, he's going to be like, well, and then you're going to let him address you, right? Because he's ICT. But we do it here too, right? We know what you need to be saying and not saying, right? So we're going to help you with that. And it's all love. There's no malice, right? We got to do that to get you ready faster, but you got to want to do it.
So if everybody got their charts marked up, then we can adjourn. Everybody good?
Good job.
Speak now, forever hold it. We see you in the market streets.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. It was awesome.
What's that?
This is awesome. This is my first time participating in
Oh yeah. What's
yeah.
up? I thought this was TT. What's up, Tanisha?
Hey, what's up? Thank you for inviting me.
Welcome.
This is great. It's a great presentation.
Appreciate it.
Marking in charge that you guys are extremely detailed. Very, very detailed.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Oh, that's the other Tisha. Hey, girl.
Hey, how are you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
Great. I'm just super happy that a lot of people that I see that came in in the trading game when I came in, they still here. It's really, I'm very emotional right now after I joined the community and saw how many people were still riding the ride. I've just been so overjoyed. You have absolutely no idea how emotional I am because the stuff that I do, I mean, it's cool. I made my money or whatever, but I'm here to help too. And seeing you guys blossom, it's like an icing on the cake. You guys have no idea how amazing that we get to see our students grow into like real, legit, independent traders. It's on a different high.
Hey.
Yeah, I see it. Like you guys are doing so good. I'm so proud of you guys.
Thanks, girl.
I agree.
Yeah,
I'm a little less proud, but
really
I still
proud of you guys.
You said you less proud.
I'm a little less proud, but I still proud.
What you less proud for?
Hey, because some of us got the same twitch that we had a year ago. All I'm saying is
That's true. I mean,
the twitch
them psychology habits, man, they hard to die.
and listen, it's not just that they're hard to break. My frustration is they're impossible to break if you don't put in any work. That's all I'm saying. And I get it. Life happens. I'm not trying to downplay anything that anybody has going on in their life. That's not it. I'm just, I really want everybody to win. I want everybody to
Yeah.
I want everybody
So
to
we see the other side. We see it and we're like, oh my God, if this person could just do this,
Right.
oh my goodness, they'll be able to cross that bridge. Oh my good, but I can say it a million times, but if they don't see it or they don't believe it, they're not gonna be able to cross over that bridge. And it's like we're rooting for you over here.
I have this thing where I stop people, right? I do this in my life. When people try to tell me something that sounds like an excuse, I stop them, right? I don't even want it to come out of your mouth because it's speaking it into existence. I know what you're trying to explain. I already know all the excuses. We got to get around that and stay on this. And people don't like that because I do it every time because I got to save you. Leave that alone. No, this, right? And I do that in my life. It's annoying, I know, but I know the answers. Like when regular life, we don't know the answers. Here, We know the answers. That's the thing. This is a machine, right? Once you figure out the machine, you're in. So when they be talking about all that, no, 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 stop saying that. And then, oh, he's being condescending. No, I just know that that thing that you're saying, it don't work. I didn't dug through all of it, all the excuses, all the losses, 20,000 in loss. I dug it out. We in here.
Yeah, I used to wonder, you know, when I first got to Ruby's class, I used to wonder, or I used to think to myself, if I only knew the direction that the market was going to go, I could be successful. And you know, that's halfway true. I mean, that's half the battle. Half the battle is understanding where the market is going. The I'm not even gonna say that's half. That's probably 20%. The other 80% is being disciplined. Like, even if you know which way the market is going, you're gonna blow your account if you don't know how to risk manage. You're going to suffer from FOMO unless you work on that, unless you put some practices in your life that help change you from being a FOMO person into being a more disciplined person. This is not something that just changes over time. This is something that you have to actively fix. You know, it's kind of like when I see the person on the beach with the six pack and, you know, the nice body, you know, all that's great. But if I'm still eating burgers every day and not exercising, I can't project that body for myself. I have to go work to get that body. And this is no different. You don't accidentally learn how to trade. Showing up here is great, but the work that you put in away from here is more important. Whatever you do to discipline yourself. Hey, when you take a bad entry, it's a lot of guys out there. When you watch the psychology videos, I mean, they're doing all kinds of crazy stuff. They're taking ice baths. They're driving, you know, they're riding their bike to work instead of driving. They're disciplining themselves, you know, and you might think it's stupid. I might think it's stupid. I ate chicken and broccoli. And, you know, and that's how I found a level of discipline. But I think that for me and other people, like OG is a military guy, you know, people who were in the military, we kind of have an understanding of how we were disciplined when we first joined the military. They cut our hair off. That might sound stupid. Some people, they made us wear the same clothes. We had to wear brown drawers and a brown t-shirt, green scratchy socks. You might not think that changes you, but that is them breaking you down. They deprived us from sleep. They made us work out. They made us be bunk mates with people we weren't comfortable with. You know, those types of things change you. And it's the same in your trading. You know, maybe you need to get up early or at the same time. Maybe you need to work out. Maybe you need to implement going to bed at a certain time. Maybe you need to stop eating sweets. Stop drinking coffee. Maybe you need to dress a certain way. Maybe you need to stop getting your nails done every week. Now get them done every other week. If you earn those nails, why don't you earn those shoes? Earn whatever, that trip. Don't go on vacation. Whatever you have to do, you do that. That's an example of you working on something, you fixing something. Write it down. I can go on forever about this, but
Yeah.
we're
adults.
What we need.
We're adults and we know process and we know when we are and when we aren't. That's one thing in the truth of truths and the heart of hearts. That individual knows exactly what it is. Do you slow down and ask yourself solid questions? Do you slow down and explain to yourself, right? Because this is how you're supposed to do with people, but it starts with self. Can you slow down and get it clear? Most people go too fast. They don't take the time to listen and they don't take the time to explain. You got to be able to do that with self first. That means you got to slow down. Most people don't want to slow down. They like moving fast. Well, you got to figure this out in a fast fashion. You're going to make a lot of mistakes. Everything that you do, you got to slow it down unpackage, repackage, and then go to the next step. Unpackage, repackage, go. You can't do that fast. You can try to do it fast, but we see the mistakes we make. You can't do it fast. You have to slow down. Trading is life. Life is trading.
And it's harder than ever because we live in this microwavable society that everything
Yeah,
is fast, is good. Not That's not in the case of, you know, trading in the trading world. And you
that's
have to be like
noise.
100% organic with yourself. You got to
Hmm.
sit down with self and be like, okay, what's really going on here? Like
Hmm.
it's not the charts. What's really going on here? Why am I not disciplining? Why am I not looking at my trading plan? What's really going on? If you
As
don't have that
soon as,
conversation, I don't
That's
know. I
how,
don't know
how
what I can tell
people
you.
actually have a trading plan. That's probably where we should start.
yeah,
Most people probably still don't even have one.
Ooh, that's another
it's a
that's
lot.
another story right there.
We're in a total rabbit hole. It is a big rabbit hole that we're in. Like as soon as the market started and they gave you the ability, they put out all these indicators, they put out all this noise, they put out all the social media, they put out everything that they teach us in life on top of something so simple. It's a lot of noise. Come back under the noise, back to where the trading actually started, and you'll see the simplicity of it. And then you understand the noise, how it blocks you. Everything in life blocks you from entering that trade correctly when it's not hard to do it all.
Well, I'll be here next week. Thank you guys so much for, spreading the knowledge. This is some
Like,
really, 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 I mean, I don't know how many people are here are new. Maybe some of you guys don't know me, but I've been trading for a long time, been trading for a while. But like, and I've been into a lot of like, tutorials and weekly analysis and stuff. And this is super, super good, like super authentic, very high level stuff. Like you guys are
like,
so lucky to have them. Trust me, like you guys are so lucky to have them. You guys are awesome.
Oh, yes, we know it.
well, it's we now. You back, so it's us. Right? We're the leaders. Even the people who don't think they're leaders, they're the ones that keep coming. So eventually you're going to become a leader. We're only talking healthy price action. That's it. We got different voices, right? Just in case somebody don't like this packaging, well, then go to this person. It doesn't matter. We're not taking offense. We're all getting the bag. Go to who you want to go to. But we come together as a team like Voltron, and everybody's got every angle locked in. We are dialed in. This is $1 million baby. We know.
Yeah, forex is $1 trillion business. We can all share this money. Trust me.
Hey,
No hate, no hate over here. I'm just all smiles here. I'll be smiling for the rest of the year.
we got to show them what Forex is about. I mean, even if we do go registered, we'll build it there. I mean, it's already built.
Well, I'll be registering in Colombia, so I'll be using somewhere outside of
Right.
the state. That 1 to 50 is not for me. And first in
Yeah.
out is not for me. I would never do that. Never.
Yeah. Well, my journey's pretty good, but I'd like to take my family with me. So, and everyone. So I got more work to do. Um, I could leave if I wanted to leave, but I'm not doing that. I got to take them with me. So I got to work that.
Well, this all it requires is for you to get a passport or ID in another country, whatever those requirements are, right? Some
Yeah.
of them require you to do a little time. Some of them you can buy, But the bottom line is, this is my my way of making income, and
Yeah.
I refuse to be regulated out of making what I'm used to making because
Yeah.
the big brother government knows better than me. No, bro, I'm good. I will trade the way I like trading, the way I learned to trade, and I'll trade with 1 to 500 leverage, not 1 to 50. That's just it. I'm not ever going to trade with 1 to 50.
Right. Maybe I should reconsider and just go ahead and leave. It's just that I'm the watcher of my family, and I
I got
don't
you.
want to
So
leave
this is
them all.
this is what I'm saying. Once you have the other passport, you can come back. You can come to the United States,
Yeah.
or even
What's up, Maggie?
yeah, you can trade from anywhere in the world once you get what you need. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing dual citizenship too. Too much money
Yes,
giving
sir.
the government. That's
yeah,
too
you can
much.
trade. I mean, you can be a Colombian citizen. Like I'm gonna have me a cedula in Colombia. You know, I mean, it's not to say that I will never come back or never trade in the United States. Me and my boo might live in Puerto Rico. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because of the tax benefits. But my
Mhm.
point is, um, I will never ever allow the government to regulate me out of 1 to 500. That's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? It's not. I don't care. It's not going to happen. I'm always going to trade 1 to 500. I've been trading. What am I gonna stop for? Because they kicked them off MetaQuotes. You know, I mean,
Now,
I would rather go to IC markets or you know, there's a bunch of European regulated brokers, but they trade 1 to 500. They trade CFDs, no problem.
yeah.
So
Okay.
I'll just never allow that to happen.
So for me, it's a touchy subject because I've never left the country before. And it is going to be brand new to me. I've
So
never
even
done
that
it.
in the army, you left the country.
No, I'm saying I went to Iraq. That's all I did. I didn't do that. They did that. Me physically leaving the country. Nah, I've never done that except like Mexico, but that's about it.
I lived in Korea for 2 years. It was in the army, but I lived there. I lived in
Yeah,
Japan for 3 years. I lived in the Marshall Islands for 2 years. I
yeah,
lived in Iraq for 18 months. I mean, you're gone. You're out. I mean, you're there. Iraq, you lived on a base, but when everywhere else, I didn't live on a base. Well, Bosnia, I did too, but I lived out in the community. I had me a German driver's license, just like I had a U.S. driver's license.
I'll be thinking they're gonna take me, bro.
Well, that's some of the best living you can do. I mean,
I got that movie in my head. I don't know. That's all I see.
hey,
I've
hey,
never done it.
That's what the United States wants you to see. They want you to be
Yeah,
scared.
if y'all
yeah.
go to YouTube and Google, this is what you do. Go to YouTube. Let me stop this recording.